All right, so let's get started. You can see the slides, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So let me get to where that was just now. I had it in front of me and then it just disappeared. So we'll go back to slideshow from the beginning and let's get going. We're recording and thank you again all for being here. Again, this is going to be the final Friday webinar as we know them for each consecutive week during open enrollment season. It just the attendance has fallen off dramatically ever since we've been building up to this, and I think that there's reasons to continue to have these calls. Don't make no mistake about it, but probably not on the weekly basis. We've been having them simply because so much is out there drawing your attention in other places, and I know people have to be ready to be available to give their open enrollment part of their business attention. So we'll still have calls, but you'll get a notice from me the week of letting you know. You'll still get emails from me like we were doing during the summertime, where you have the attachments from the carriers and other information you need to know. But we won't have these every week. You'll look for me to send you a reminder of when we are going to have them. My guess is it'll end up being close to every other week, but we won't have it during the week of Thanksgiving, for example, or we won't have it. Again, if there's not something earth-shattering, newsworthy in the extended care senior supplemental benefit side of things, we won't have a call that week. But I don't want you to feel you'll be kept out of the loop. You won't. I will make sure we over-communicate throughout the week, different things you need to know. All right, so I just wanted to give everybody a heads up. And again, that fits into our mission statement, which is to make sure we're here to help you in any way possible in building your practice, and help you straighten out some of the misconceptions out there, as well as making sure you're taking full advantage of any kind of negotiation we can have with the marketplace to get you extra consideration and perks. Like, for example, the contests we're running, which we'll talk about. But let's first talk about what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to go over the new contest again. Got a bunch of people on the board this week. That's good. I'll go over the top producers. We'll go over some carrier updates, some news you can use, some observations from the field, a little piece I wrote this morning called "What Are You Waiting For?" and we answer any questions you have. But this is going to be mostly an interactive call. I want to hear from all of you how you're prepping for the open enrollment season, what you're doing, how we can share best practices to help everybody make this as productive a selling period as possible. As we go through this, again, I'm going to be calling on some of you just to share. I'm glad to see we're double digits already of people in attendance. Last week we hardly got to 5 people. So again, maybe this is a good sign that we have so many this week, and we'll see where it goes from here. You'll direct our behavior based on how interested you are in continuing to want to attend these things. And I just want to make sure that we're not wasting your time and that these things are relevant. So I'll look to your feedback, both collectively on these calls and individually, if that's what you want to. My alarm just went off on my phone. Sorry about that. Stop that. Stop going like that. There. Okay. So let's get into it. These are the people that I know wrote business. First of all, congratulations to both Abe and Alita. They both wrote some life cases this last week through Back 9, separate from the carriers that we have through NAIS. So congratulations to both of them for being creative enough to see those things through. Abe wrote a huge Bright House case, an LTC hybrid, on a 5-pay basis at $36,947. It's supposed to be a comma. $36,947 for a year for 5 years. Congratulations. And then on top of that, another life insurance case for $4,140. Alita wrote a life insurance case for $1,334. So again, these are two sort of outside the box of traditional extended care or supplemental benefit products. And, both of them were creative enough to build on their relationship with Claude to get that done. So congrats to them. Hank Ellis wrote a Medicare supplement product for $2,000 and some dental and vision through Manhattan Life. Hank, I didn't know what the total of that premium was, but all that's going to count toward the contest that we have running just for us on this call, or just for those of us in this supplemental benefit channel. So let me know. Make sure, if you can, Hank, send me the amount of the premium for the dental and vision of the Manhattan Life, unless that was all included in the $2,000. I wasn't sure when I got your email. And Lori wrote some Med Subs. She wrote some Med Advantage. Med Advantage doesn't count in the contest, but the Med Subs do. She wrote a $1,728 policy and an RX policy for $60. So let me know. Last week it was Scott Fishkin who had wrote. So these are the people that are so far in the contest. This here is the contest that we've got going on. Again, I was, or let me put it this way. Andy was generous enough to put up $1,500 just for us, just for you, not me, but for all of you, to be able to win extra comp just simply by all business you submit, with the exception of Medicare Advantage, all business that you submit between now and November 15th. And first place will get $750. Second place will get $500. Third place will get $250. That adds up to $1,500. Again, everything but the Medicare Advantage. Of course, this is business that goes through NAIS. If it doesn't go through NAIS, it won't count in the contest. It's business that you report to me as submitted, but then gets verified as having been received by NAIS bookkeeping department. And when they verify that it's been received, again, we'll announce the winners of the contest probably the week after November 15th. And again, we'll probably have a call that week to be able to determine it. But I have to look to see when Thanksgiving is this year, so as to not conflict. But we'll get the news out to everyone. I just wanted to make sure you're aware that this contest is going on, and this is just for you. It's not for the rest of the people. There's about 4,000 people affiliated with NAIS. This is just for the 300 people that are invited to these calls. And frankly, mostly for the people that are attending these calls, because you're the ones that are most visible in your production. So I just want to make sure you're not leaving behind this opportunity to cash in on something that's designed just for you. All right. A couple of things I wanted to share with you. This is going to be a shorter call than normal, only because I know it's open enrollment season and you're all doing what you got to do to prep for that. This is a message I tested this week. The results still aren't complete yet, but I'll keep you posted on them. But I wanted you to have it just so that in case you want to do a variation of it, you can. You'll have this on the when you get the link for the replay of this call. But this was the short version of a message I sent out to past prospects. Why is it so long? Keep going. Past prospects, and hopefully you can take advantage of it or variation thereof. Again, you got to insert your message or your Acuity scheduling or your team scheduling, Calendly scheduling link into the message so they can set the appointment with you. There's no hard and fast rule here. You feel free to alter this message to you, but keep it short, keep it simple. You can take a variation of it and create a text, but I wanted you to have at least the format of the or the basis of the template that I was using. I'm doing this through a test with Constant Contact. I'm paying them $250 a month to have a marketing specialist send out 3 campaigns a month for me. And the leads come back to me or as they would come back to you if you were to do the same, to be able to address these people who want to add a long-term care or extended care plan to their portfolio or to their strategy for how they're going to address their risk of needing benefits in as they get older. So again, the copy's here. Take full advantage of it if you want. Ignore it if you want, but I just wanted to make sure you had something, and I'll keep you posted as to what kind of results we get with it. Okay. Because we had such a poor attendance last week, I didn't want you to miss out on what our wonderful Lori Peary provided to me. This is the message she sends as the annual notice of change to her clients. If you're not doing something like this, as I understand it, it's required that you do this to your existing client base of Medicare clients. So again, if you haven't sent something out, I guess you need to. Here's a template of what Lori did. So this is the best part about being part of a group like ours. You get to share best practices. You get to see what others are doing. You get to hear what's worked, and more importantly, what hasn't worked. So you don't have to waste time and effort on something that hasn't shown results. But Lori's used this very successfully. She's really established herself as a brand within the extended care business. She was sharing with me earlier today that people are actually seeking her out to teach them and introduce the whole concept of what she does with extended care and how she combines her Medicare business and the supplemental business together to others. So Lori's a great example of what could be done when you apply yourself and treat your business like a business all the way through, as some of the rest of you have done too, but Lori is a shining example of it. Lori, are you on? Are you here, Lori?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, first of all, how did you survive the storm?
You know what? I feel like it went around us. We had some trees blow down, but just south of us, we had neighborhoods demolished.
You know
So
what? You know what that is, Lori? That's professional courtesy. They
that's the
figured
favor of God.
there's enough hot air, they said, already coming out of your neighborhood that they've decided to just go around you and out of professional respect, miss you completely. Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad you're safe and sound.
Thank you.
You want to share anything? What kind of response have you had to this Medicare plan advisor? Or, I mean,
Okay,
sorry,
so
this.
that's not really a soliciting a response. That is it's an app that I use that gives me the information that goes directly into my enrollment portal. So I don't have to manually enter the doctors and the prescriptions. It's automatically uploads into my portal so I can search the plans more efficiently. So there's no manual input. The Retire Flow is the name of the company. You all probably already used it, but I just figured it out and it's pretty sweet. I can use it to I guess the wrong word is solicit, but to let people have access to my account if they want my help. And because within the Retire Flow, they're signing a scope of appointment, and that's what you're talking about, where we have to have written permission 48 hours in advance, with certain exceptions, to even talk to anyone about Medicare. So Retire Flow is a great app. If you don't have it already, I'd recommend checking it out.
They don't get that through this link, do they?
No,
That's on the screen.
They can't get their own app. That's a link to my enrollment portal where they complete.
So what do they do? Go to retireflow.com?
Yeah, Retire Flow.
Okay.
Yep.
Spelled without the W, I see.
Correct.
Okay. So if you haven't been using this, I can tell you that I personally participated in this with Lori, and it was simple and easy to use. Helps if you have your Medicare number. But this is this was an efficient way for you to gather the information you need. So,
And the most important thing is it gets the scope of appointment signed, so we're compliant.
good. So if you're not using something like that, here you go. Again, this is the beauty of having these types of calls and being able to share best practices. So we thank you, Lori, for sharing this with us.
Yeah, I don't know if it's available through NAIS or not. I got it through another upline that I've got some of my Medicare contracts with. So um, that's something, if y'all have an upline that's not NAIS, you might want to check to see if they have access to Retire Flow, maybe a discount on the cost.
Yeah, I will. 'cause I
Integrity
did
has,
through it.
Integrity has Medicare Center. I
I
think
use
it's,
Medicare Center.
yeah, I think that's kind of the same thing.
Medicare
So
Center.
you have a link that you can send people a where they can put their prescriptions in.
I don't know. I haven't done that. I usually put all their prescriptions on Medicare.gov.
Yeah. Well, it's just it's a quick way, and you can also link to Medicare.gov. That's a quick way to do it too. But yeah, and then the train. This might be something people want to think about. I went to Oregon to teach a class on long-term care planning in a financial peace university setting. So if you know of churches that are teaching that class this fall, you might want to reach out to the facilitator and see if they need someone to come in and talk about long-term care planning. I got several clients from that connection. So that's, of course, I had to get an Oregon license, but that's easy. That's fine with me because they have Manhattan Life and Aetna in Oregon. So, and the other thing I've done is I've hired a marketing person to go to property and casualty agencies to connect me with their people, because they don't generally have health licenses. So they need a referral source for Medicare and long-term care. So I'm trying to do some networking with PNC
I just think that's
business owners and
genius.
staff.
So I think that's genius, Lori, that you've done that. And again, Lori is not shy about investing in her practice. She affiliated herself with Dave Ramsey. She's done things like you just heard about, where she's teaching other places, and then she's hired herself a. What's it cost you? Can we ask to hire a
I'm paying her
medic?
$45 an hour,
$45 an hour. I'm paying
and
two forty
she's
nine a
going,
month to medic to what's it called to Constant Contact. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
she's going around. She's reaching out because I want the person at the front desk as well as the agents who take the call. So when someone asks about Medicare or long-term care, they think of me first. But after AEP, she's going to set up lunch and learns with the staff of, just a 30-minute snack kind of a thing, to just kind of, so I can be a face behind a business card, and just kind of become familiar with the staff, because, it's the people on the ground that generally work with their clients. The problem is that now we've got all these claims on hurricane stuff. So I don't know if I'm going to get to talk to anyone, before next week, but anyway,
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing.
that's what happens. But no, but you're always doing something, and that's what's good. And so is Monica, and so is Alita, and so many of the others that are on this call, constantly doing something. And I want you to bring those ideas to forums like this, so we can talk about the pros and cons and what the responses have been. Just like I'll share with you what comes from my personal campaigns and trying to generate business. This is a grand time to be able to start talking about the other benefits and products and programs you can offer to complement their Medicare. I know you can't do it when you're doing the actual Medicare policies themselves, but you can at least plant a seed that allow you to go back and build on your practice after you write the Medicare. And it's a natural door opener, in my opinion. So taking full advantage like this is a very um, good example, Lori, of what can be done, and we thank you for continuing to share this kind of grand ideas with us. Anybody else doing anything particular that this year that's helping you stand out in the marketplace?
Well, I
Such a,
sent out postcards to all
did
of
you?
my clients. That's what
Okay.
I did. I like Lori's idea better because you're really utilizing technology on that, but I'm getting calls.
Good. You're getting calls?
So,
Great. You sent out postcards, and what does that ask them to do? Call you, or does it ask them to go somewhere to give you the information, or?
no, it addresses the big changes with the PDPs. And I have Advantage, but most of my clients have a Medicare supplement. So it was just a postcard to remind them that it's super important this year to review all of their drugs. So,
That's right. It is because of all these changes. How
yeah.
many of those postcards did you send out, Alita?
Oh, I don't know exactly. Over 200. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, good. Keep us posted on how something like that works. Anybody else doing anything else? Monica, you were complaining about how this year is so much more challenging. Anything different you're doing?
Oh, well, I have this constant contact email system that I use, and
Mhm.
I, emailed them all telling them whatever I wanted to tell them, kind of like this thing of Lori's. And I have 1,100 people on that list, and only 74 people bothered to look at it.
Oh,
So
wow.
it seems like people are getting so they're not paying attention.
Wait. You have 1,100 people on the list, and how many people looked at it?
74 people opened and looked at that.
74 people.
Yeah.
Guys, there's no question about it that in an election year, a presidential election year, it is harder to cut through all the noise that's out there than any other time. It's always this way. I'm hearing from everybody in the business that generating leads is harder than ever. Everything is much more confusing and convoluted out there simply because there's so much competition for your ear
Yeah, I
and
think
for their
people's
ear.
bandwidth is shot. Plus, we've had these storms. These
Yes.
huge storms. North Carolina, here we had it in Greenville. Nobody had power. Some people still don't have power, like 12 days.
Yeah, that's
Internet's
crazy.
down. North Carolina, Florida. These are some of my big states, and everybody's running around after these storms. So I'm literally going to have to call every single person, or they'll realize something happened after January 1st.
Yeah. It's gonna be tougher. But the good news is the election will come and go in less than 3 weeks, and then you'll have that window of opportunity to what, the 10th of December, or when's the open enrollment season last time?
7th.
It's the 7th of December. So
But
you'll have time to be able to.
before Thanksgiving. I mean, they want to cram all in there. I got people. On my calendar, I had a 30-minute option for just submitting an application. And when people are supposed to schedule their meeting, they're all scheduling that 30-minute one. And I'm like, no, that's not. So I had to take it off of there completely because that's not even enough time. So this morning, I just deleted that 30-minute option completely.
If it hasn't become obvious to all of you, I have absolutely no idea what we're talking about when it comes to Medicare. I'm completely dependent on all of you to sort of fill me in on the pitfalls and the challenges that you're facing. And see, I didn't know 30 minutes wasn't enough time. I thought it took less time than that to be able to take an app. But I've
you got to
never
get all
taken
the
a Medicare
drugs.
app,
The
so I
drug
don't know.
plans are harder this year. And no.
That's
It can
why
take an hour and a half
it's so
easy.
insulting that that the drug plans are now non-commissionable, because the drug plans, like Monica says, they take all the work.
Oh yeah, it's hard this year.
Yeah,
So I have a question, Monica, are you sending people on the non-commissionable or zero premium options now? Are you still writing those? Are you still spending your time and not getting paid? Or are you sending them to Medicare.gov?
We'll be on Medicare.gov. We'll update their drug list. If they're on a med sup, which I don't have that many on med sups, but once we see what Medicare.gov is recommending, there's a little enroll tab right there. And
Right.
I just tell them enroll right there. It only takes a few minutes.
Yeah.
This is Alita. I had decided, I have a lot of well care people, including myself, and getting no commissions and all that. I had decided to refer them, to Medicare.gov, but my client calls yesterday. I'm going to sit down with her. It's hard for me to, not be there for them. And it doesn't take that much time to do the review. So I guess I'm going
because
to
you're
be
a professional,
selective.
Alita. That's
Uh,
what that is.
yeah, I
it
still
does.
help them. I always keep their drugs updated on Medicare.gov. You just
Yeah.
don't have to write the application. You can just, they're already listed in there. So all you got to do is update them, and then it'll tell you which plan, and then just they can enroll like that.
Well, yeah, like Monica, I think I use Medicare Center and all of their drugs are in there. So it doesn't take that long to update them. And then there's a link directly to Medicare.gov to write the business. So this one person is with SilverScript right now, and I'm going to move her to WellCare, even though I'm not going to get paid.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Those are
even
the kind
bother.
of,
I would just
Problem with that,
go
though,
on Medicare. Tell her to get on her Medicare page and click that enroll button. Takes 2
You
seconds.
know that her premium with SilverScript went from $9 a month up to over $40 a month.
Yeah, they're only going to have 2 plans. I think they're only going to have 2 plans.
Right.
Next.
Isn't that awful? It's just,
but this is the kind of investment of time and energy and effort on your part that will pay dividends and also open them up to future discussions on the additional supplemental benefits. So
absolutely.
don't see it as a waste of time. See it as a reason to continue to build a relationship. I am a huge fan of the fact that you should be offering the people you work with a plan, not a product.
Yeah, that's right.
And if you can get into offering them the idea of having future discussions about what their plan is, as opposed to selling them a product, you're going to build a relationship that's going to be much, 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 much stronger and a commitment to you as their representative than if you just sell them an individual product.
I
So-
mean, my clients are like, what do you think I should do? Whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do. And, if I was recording the call, which I don't record many of them, I always say they're in person if possible, but, you really don't want that on the call. You can't tell people what to do, but that's really what they want you to do is tell them. So the sales part is totally gone. It's mostly just like, I don't even think of it as selling. I think of it as consulting, and I have to blend these extended care products into that, and I have to get those appointments set while we're talking about it. That is my biggest mistake. We chat about it, and then I don't get an appointment set, and then it goes out the window.
Right, you're right. You have to ask for the appointment. If you don't
Mhm.
do that, you miss the opportunity. Okay. Well, thank you guys, all of you, for sharing. And I hope the others that were listening were picking up some valuable information as I was from listening to the three of you talk. So,
Monica, that's huge. Thank you. I think that something I need to do better too is making sure after the Medicare enrollment that there is a follow-up enrollment to talk about, or not a follow-up appointment to talk about long-term care.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
And it's on the books, on the calendar. That's awesome.
it's an
Mhm.
opportunity missed if you don't do it. Okay. Guys, I'm not going to go over this. I wasn't planning to go over this, so you know. But when you get the email, there will be all the attachments from the carriers. I'm depending on you to look at the replay email so that you can see those attachments of news you can use, of the carrier updates, of any other information that comes out from sources that might be helpful to send to your clients. It's all there for you, but I mean, I'm counting on you actually opening it up and determining what you can use and what you can't use. And without fail, I will receive from carriers additional information while we're having this webinar. And so I'll attach those to the email that comes out afterwards. So there'll be stuff on there that we never spoke about on the webinar, but came in afterwards, and you get a chance to see because that email comes out with the link for the replay. Okay. These are the three I know will be on there, but Manhattan Life always puts out something, and there'll be others, especially now with it being open enrollment season. Moo has their own Medicare supplement product. Manhattan Life has their own. Most of the short-term care carriers have their own Medicare products. Um, uh, the there's some others out there that John Hancock has a bunch of stuff that they're putting out. And again, you need to stay current with that in case you're offering any of those products in your Medicare side of your business. So just take the time to open it up and look at the attachments is all I'm saying. Okay. Any other observations as we move into open enrollment, as to things that are different this year, things that you're going to do that you haven't done before? Just, the state of the business. What's the feeling out there as to what's good and what's not, as we enter these next several weeks? Was it 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, something like that? Anybody? Things are just business as usual? What kind of selling season are you anticipating having? Do you think it'll be
Well, I'm
up?
back at the local Walgreens store, but
There you are?
only,
Oh, good.
yeah, I got that gig again. And, but I'm only working 1 day a week because I also have an opportunity to start selling institutional Medicare at a retirement community right at the below the Dove Mountain area. So I'm
What's
doing
that mean? Institutional? I mean, it's like a group deal, in other
no
words?
people that are like already in a facility for memory care. This
Oh.
particular retirement community has independent care, assisted living, and memory care. So it's an opportunity right 5 minutes from where I live. So I'm taking advantage of that.
That's good that you reminded me of that. I was on the leadership call yesterday from NAS, and we have lots of stores available. They have lots of stores available that you can sign up for. Forget the Walmart stores; they have all that. But I mean, I think you have to pay now to be part of those. But there's all kinds of Kroger's, um, uh, other pharmacies, other things. Just contact NAS and ask about the stores that are available. But there's plenty of them. And if you're looking to be part of a store, if you don't have enough prospects and you're thinking that's what you want to try to potentially to take on, they're there. They're just a
Well, if
matter
you
of you
do,
inquiring about them.
go to someplace in your area because that's the wonderful thing about the one I have, and mine is through Cigna. But I almost every time I go down there, I know people coming in the door because I live in the community. So that part is great. So get a store as close to where you live as possible if you do that.
Yeah, good advice, Alita. All right. Well, I'm curious. Are you expecting your business to be up, down, or the same, Alita?
Up.
Up.
I'm
And
just scrambling right now with all the people calling, which is good, but it hasn't even started yet. It starts the 15th.
right.
But I'm setting up all my appointments, so that's what I'm doing.
Good.
Oh
Well,
no,
I'll
I've
tell
already
you.
met with like
Well,
25 people. I've already been meeting with them, figuring out what we're going to do, and then rescheduling the actual appointment to take the application. I had to get a jump on it. I did that last year. I didn't really get started till the application taking date, and it put me behind. So this year I'm
good
trying to get.
advice. Good advice. Getting ahead of it. That's part of what we've been talking about here. Anybody else prepping for a better season this year, and what are you doing? Or have expectations? Scott, Lori, anybody?
I'm going to be doing a couple of CVS stores. I'm going to try it out this year.
Are
Oh,
you?
good. Through Aetna?
Yeah, I got Aetna, and I also have Devoted I can do.
Take full
Okay.
advantage of that, guys. I keep hearing rumors that CVS is going to get rid of Aetna, or Aetna is going to get rid of CVS, or something. Some kind of
CVS owns Aetna.
Yeah,
yeah,
CVS
right.
owns Aetna. They just bought
Right,
them.
and I keep hearing that they're going to separate. So I don't know who's going to go where and how it's going to happen. But it's again, I don't know. I don't claim to be as in tune with the Medicare market as I am with the extended care and long-term care market. But
That would not surprise me because Aetna is hemorrhaging money.
that's
They're
what I
losing
keep hearing.
money.
That's what I keep hearing.
So now I'm wondering, should I keep putting people on Aetna? Or are they going to pull the same stuff next year?
They're going to protect the policyholder. I mean, if they have to make a switch, maybe they'll switch, but
Oh my God! But I could be taking people off Aetna right now instead of just putting them on another Aetna plan. Like Aetna pulled so many plans from the market. Humana, I mean, they're all going crazy. But I don't
I'd
want
stay
to keep.
away from trying to predict what's going to happen and just let the market determine your
Well, I know one thing, United Healthcare on their meeting, they're like, we're not going anywhere. We're stable. Our plans are stable. You know, that's a good reason to write United Healthcare. And the more I think about it, it might be true.
Well,
Well, they had
I'll
some
leave that to
changes
your
too, though.
experience. Hmm?
They had
But-
changes in their plans too. All the companies did.
I know, just not as drastic.
Yeah.
Like they'll change numbers and stuff and little details in them, but not like Aetna completely pulling them off the market.
Yeah,
It's a little different.
yeah.
We'll see what changes bring, but I don't think any of us can be in the crystal ball business. You can't predict what's going to happen. I mean, I continue to hear that these phone centers that are out there are writing tons of business, and they're all hemorrhaging money because the cost of getting leads and the cost of converting those leads is more expensive than ever. And so even though they're writing volume, they're cranking up lots of losses. And things are going to have to change. But again, exactly how they're going to change, I don't know that anybody can predict with any reliability at the moment as to what's going to be. So just let the market show you where it's going, and keep doing what's in the best interest of your clients. It will come back to reward you. Okay, I don't hear anything else about any other observations. This is a perfect lead into what I wanted to finish up the call with, and that's this. What are you waiting for? If you're waiting for some special deal from the home office or the end, I got you one. You got it in the form of that contest. You have a contest that gives you additional comp over and above, just for playing in these games. You can earn extra money. So it can't be that. What it all comes back to, and again, when I write these things together, it's because of my own challenges that I see. And I don't want you to think I'm lecturing to you as much as I'm lecturing to myself, and then I'm taking that and I'm extrapolating the lessons I'm learning from that to share with you and things like this. At the end of the day, this all comes down to you. You got to accept personal responsibility for your business. You got to accept personal responsibility for your setbacks and your failures. And you've got to accept personal responsibility for your successes. You need to celebrate your successes. You're it. And we tend to want to point the finger outward to other places, but at the end of the day, it all comes back to you. And here we are on the cusp of another prime selling season. And the first thing we got to say is, I'm not going to let these things get in my way. And these are the things I'm going to do to help make it happen. And then you need to execute on that plan. That you're in charge. You have a say over all this, and it all comes back to how you manage your business. So what's that mean? It means taking action. The best plan in the world means nothing if you don't act on it. Right? You've got to be personally responsible to say, I'm going to make X number of calls a day and start doing it right away. I'm going to make X amount of presentations a day or a week and start doing it. You have to. The way I was successful back in the 90s as a top producing agent was I knew that I wasn't going to accept less than 15 appointments. This is when you had to drive to your and see your people in person. 15 appointments a week, three a day, 5 days a week, or in my case, I did 5 a day, 3 days a week, and then I used the other days for marketing and administrative work. But you had to commit, and I wasn't giving up until I had 15 appointments. And I got on the phone on Saturday, and I would try to get my 15 appointments. And if I got them, great, I didn't have to work on Sunday. But if I didn't have them, if I had 10 or 12, I was on the phone Sunday afternoon, the 2 hours before 60 Minutes came on, because depending on your time zone. And again, I would fill in those additional appointments. If I had 15 appointments a week, I would end up seeing 12. I knew I would get to see 12. And I was closing 2/3 of those into an application. The numbers won't let you down, but you have to drill the fundamentals of your business. And do whatever else was necessary. I was building a district at the time, so I had to do recruiting as well, and I had to manage the lead flow. So again, there was all kind of other aspects to my building of my practice, but you have to do the same in how you approach the business. The moment is
Well,
here. All right. So you have to have a goal to decide, exactly what you're going to do and then act on the plan and implement it to make it work. And then you can do the other stuff. I was on the leadership call yesterday and I was listening to these other divisions and departments talk about how they're doing all this networking. Uh, Lori's a good example of a person who does networking. So is Monica, Alita too. So again, this idea of reaching out and expanding your footprint is critical, but you have to plan for it if you're going to do it, so that you can implement it, and make it happen and plant seeds that you're not going to harvest the fruits of until later on. But again, just as quickly as open enrollment season is about to begin, come December 7th, open enrollment season will end. And I know you have another time in January or so that you can do it again, but still, you got to be planting seeds for businesses that you're not going to get until the spring of next year. And that will keep you going throughout the year. That's what's going to qualify you for the trips. That's what's going to qualify you for the big opportunities that when it's not open enrollment season, that will keep you a step above and a step ahead of the competition. All right. So uh, now's the time. It's here. All the other stuff that led up to this is behind you. It's now the time that you have to say, all right, it's the time for good thoughts on all this is over. It's time for me to act. And I just want to encourage you to do just that, because this is an opportunity missed if you don't take full advantage of it. All right. Anyway, that's my message for today. Anybody have, anybody have any other message that they're utilizing to motivate themselves you want to share? Anybody have any questions or anything on anything we've discussed?
it's it. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Scott.
All right. I just got an email. CVS layoffs will include more than 400 employees at Aetna.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, CVS will lay off 416 employees over a 14-day period at the company's Hartford-based Aetna health insurance subsidiary.
Yeah.
They're planning on doing 3,000 total.
3,000 layoffs. I don't
Yeah.
know what that means in the bigger scheme of things. I don't know how many employees CVS has, but there's something going on there. And there's something going on throughout the entire industry. The whole thing is on the precipice of major change. But again, I have ESPN, but I don't have ESP. I can't tell you what's going to happen. Especially you guys are more equipped than I am to be able to tell you what's going to happen in the Medicare world. It's just that the problem isn't going to go away. People need to have these products. People need to have a plan for how they're going to handle their long-term care challenges as they get older and move into that age group where you start needing care. A lot of us live. I live in a generation now where it's happening all around me. So it's got to be happening all around most of you. I'm seeing people that are finally there where, all they do is talk about their medical issues and the care they need. So again, nothing motivates somebody than having had a personal experience. And you are in a rare position to truly be able to help people. Don't minimize the impact you can have on other people's lives while making a good living doing it. So again, it's upon us. Seize the moment, seize the day, make it happen. And with that, unless there's any other questions and the like, I'll wish you good interviewing. Stay posted. Look for my emails during the week. I will let you know when we're going to have another one of these calls. I'll put out a schedule to it, but it won't be every week. It'll be when you get a notice saying we're having a call. And usually you'll get that by midweek, and then you'll get my reminder an hour before the call. Okay? I don't hear anything else, again, thank you all for being here, and good interview. Talk to you soon. All
Bye,
right,
everyone.
bye-bye.